All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at this FNATIC Koi series. Let's break it down and let's focus on the big points so we can come into today's match as educated as possible. First thing that I wanted to address was this that happened. Look at that, bro. He straight up pushed him. He pushed him, bro. Super pushed him. So, there's two layers to this, right? So basically, there was a lot of old chatting, a lot of disrespect in chat. And there's been moments, if I remember correctly, where Super didn't shake hands too. Which is your choice completely, right? It's like if you don't want to shake someone's hand or give a fist bump, it is what it is, you know? That's your choice. How you feel about that? It's like I'm indifferent. There's definitely people I wouldn't want to shake hands. But to resort into pushing somebody is crazy, bro. I would be very, very surprised if Super doesn't get game suspensions for this. Like, this is really, really bad. Like, you don't put hands on anybody for whatever reason, bro. This was a very, very intense match, and I think this was a massive mistake to put hands on someone, bro. Obviously, tensions run high, and it's it's not that it's not completely understandable because they just lost a series, and he's very, very emotional. But you don't act out your emotions like this. Well, cameras are there, everything is there. You know, you punch the chair or something. You know, this is. I would be very, very surprised that if Super doesn't get repercussions for this, because this is really, really bad, man. It looks like he pushed him pretty hard, bro. Because keep in mind, behind there's like cables and there's steps as well, you know. It could be dangerous, you know. You don't put hands on anybody, man. This is really bad. Like, the ref is right there. I would be very surprised if Super doesn't get any type of fine or suspension. Like, this is really, really bad, you know. I don't think there's any justification for it. Like, you can talk all you want about like not being a good sportsman, whatever, you know. It's like there's nothing about it, you know. From an entertainment standpoint, it's really, really fucking fun. But if this homie upset, like his ankle got fucked up or something, it would be really, really bad. The quality of the games were very, very rough. FNATIC versus Koi, I feel like FNATIC are following a very similar trend to what we saw before. Like, they started off very, very well. I think Oscarinin is just the champion of this team. We had a lane swap situation. Elioya splitting map. Mickey is just getting information. They're crossing into top side without using TP. Mirwin is into bot side too. This is perfectly fine. Both situations is okay. Mirwin's a little bit ahead on XP because he was earlier into bot. Jungle situations favored for Vi. This isn't super interesting, as you know. Draft-wise, I did think, it's like, in my opinion, usually if I see Kisant and Maokai, I want to have like a mage together with this, but they went for the Yone. I don't think this is like the most comfortable cohesion. It's like when you have Kisant and Maokai, I think it's like if you pair that together with Azir or mages, I think it's better. I think Jojo Pune just doesn't look that good on mages besides Talia. So there's that, you know. His Azir looked pretty trash against Casey, for example. So FNATIC's draft is like when Koki and Ezreal get 2 core, I do think that they have a pretty easy time. A big issue for FNATIC draft is that they have no one really to tank Maokai ult. Rel needs to like W buffer to do it, something like this, and it would be nice. FNATIC get the first dragon. I think this is just like the FNATIC standard. I think they're very, very good at controlling river in this blue side space. I think this is something that is like the FNATIC special. I think their early to mid game, how they control this area is very good. They're very fluid with how they work with jungle and support, and this was their big advantage against G2 as well. Like, they're very, very good at using Fog of War and making sure that both mid and bot can push freely, while jungle and support in theory pressure both. Let's pay attention here. Razork doesn't have ultimate, and economically Kai'Sa is at an advantage, so a fight for Koi is much better. Alvaro is level 5, that's a disadvantage, but I do think Kai'Sa item is big enough to signify. The unique thing about Kai'Sa, right, is that her item timers are way different than other champs, because obviously she wants to reach like Q upgrade, and that is like on an item and a half, as an example. Let's continue. So Razork here takes one and he should just peace out. It's good from Elioya to just commit hard onto him. Here the combo kind of goes crazy. Jojopyun wants to predict the angle here from Vi, which isn't too crazy, but Elioya does, of course, cancel him so he doesn't Q over the wall. Here Razork eventually flashes and Jojopyun's combo just looks ugly. Supa as well falls really out of position. Let's see if Supa had CC on anybody to be able to jump. Right now he could jump. Right now, oh, I wonder if he's in range. I think it's very close. It could be close. Obviously Supa should jump. Him getting caught like this is not the way. He just dies for free and then ults and gets cancelled by the rel. Manages to survive. The rumble ult doesn't land. I wonder here, maybe we take a step back and check if Supa could have hovered earlier, because Alvaro leaves so damn early and Kaiser is not with him. Here Supa trades with Ezreal, and I think that if they just commit into this with Alistar and Kaiser faster, I think this could have been a very good fight for Koi. Here, they should have been the game winner in my opinion. They're on 2 Drakes, 3 Grubs against 3 Grubs. They cross into bottom side. Here, as they kill this Yone, that should bridge them perfectly into a world where they of course have, 2 core on Koki Ezreal, get Drake 3 on free, and then that's it, Look at the move here from Rel to just be in the bush. Ezreal is perfectly fine on mid-wave, there's no pressure on him, and Rel being on Fog of War is super good. They find the snap, Koki was also in Fog of War, they break onto Jojopyun and he can't ult out and he dies. K'Sante reacts with TP, and right now, FNATIC won the whole game. But how did he win, right? The big win isn't in the fact that they killed Yone. That is very nice, of course. But the fact that K'Sante TP'd and there's no fight. Because look at Rumble top right now. Rumble top right now is pushing for free and is going to gain a lot. Vi has all camps alive and Rift Herald is spawning. And they're going to be in a situation where Koi don't have any TPs and Jojopyun's tempo is completely fucked. Look how this goes. They stick around. I don't know why they're looking at Mirren even. And look at Kaiser Maokai. They could take the mid wave and then they hover into this situation. And then Razor queues into River. They're giving the enemy a 4v4. The enemy team is very happy to take this, of course, because FNATIC didn't base yet. And somehow it gets extended into a kill. It's really bad. Really bad. Like Rumble, what he's gaining top, he would have gained regardless. And Upset gets K'Santed in the end. Razork also tries to save him. And Koi just get the game back. Here I don't understand either why Koi feel the need to step up so much. Elioya gets queued. He dies. K'Sante's not alive. Alvaro's not alive. I have no idea what they're doing. I can't explain this. Alvaro as well, just basing on vision here. The ward gets pinged. He sees that it gets pinged and he still recalls in the bush. Like recalling in this bush and then recalling in this position in the bush. There's just too many elements that are bad. He dropped the ward and it's getting pinged. He should have known. He must have known. The play here from, of course, Koi is that they are just sacking this completely to go for YamatoCannon. And in my opinion, I don't think YamatoCannon should be game breaking. YamatoCannon takes a lot of time to kill. They TP with Yone. This is perfectly fine. The enemy commits a lot of resources into getting this YamatoCannon. I don't think it changes the nature of any coming fight, and it doesn't have crossover with any Nasher, right? The next Drake that spawns, in my opinion, the fight is still fair and square. Like if somebody dies and is on a 15-second respawn, the withdraw, I don't think it changes the nature of the dragon fight. I think it's just completely in everyone's mind. The gold influx should be a big positive here for blue side. The main thing here, the error of FNATIC, is that, in my opinion, I think they play their fights very wrong. They need to be the ones being the shield, and the people that should provoke the engage is Ezreal and Koki. Mickey and Razork should never overposture for the fight. So Razork is going for a flank. He's playing it as if he has Kaiser and Bessa on his team and looking to flank a fucking Ashe or something like this, or an Azir. This is not the way. I think this should have been a scenario where you look to play front to back and you need Razork and Mickey to block the Maokai ult. They need to play front to back. Ezreal should have all the space in the world to just walk forward and queue these targets and take control of a dick bush. And then if Maokai tries to snap, Yone tries to snap, they just need to be there to fight. Razork is in Ambessa Vi mindset, and this is not the way. Ezreal and, of course, Ezreal and Koki should be the ones provoking the engage. Because as you can see here from Koi's position, Alvaro's half HP and they lose Dick Push. If Vi is here together with them, and he, for example, Qs the K'Sante right now, right? I do think that is a very favorable spot for them to be in. Like, this is really, really bad, I think. Why Vi tries to steal? I think it's just a terrible fight because Vi is not participating. Vi has a very important role in this, and that is to Q whoever is in front and then to ult the K'Sante when he ults. Because he's rather squishy and then they can kill him, right? When he ults. But here he's isolated and Supa can participate in both fights. The frontliner Razork is super important for the likes of Ezreal Koki. I think though Koki not flashing anything here is really, really bad. Like here Koki just gets Yon ulted. Like if he flashes that, I think it's quite playable. Like FNATIC just don't use sums for no reason. And I really, really like the angle of the Maokai ult. But I think here Upset is playing in the wrong pocket. Because I think this could be very dangerous for Koi. I think if they are all playing together and they're playing on an arc and Mickey is alone in this position and Ezreal is playing in this pocket while Mickey is getting vision like this, I think there is no realistic way for them to turn. But here the Maokai ult angle is really, really good and Upset has E. Like he should never get hit by this, you know. Like Upset should be playing down in this pocket, I think. And I think he can never be touched. But he gets Yon ulted, Maokai ulted, and FNATIC approach to the fights has just been quite atrocious this game. An additional detail here too, right, is that Yon is on the mid wave and they didn't sync the waves, right? They didn't sync the waves, Yon is pushing now, and Koki is allowed to move. I think Koi just overforced here. I think Jojopyun as well, he pushed this wave, mid wave too fast. Like look at how fast he pushes his mid wave. If he syncs with the wave that is coming on top, it's a lot better. I don't like that Jojopyun does this. Because here, he commits, he hits, and Humanoid is here, and he pushes Jojopyun off, and Jojopyun pops E back. But I think if Jojopyun syncs this wave, then he can go. But otherwise, I think if he pushes this in, I think Jojopyun should hover into here, into this space. But look, Jojopyun goes on the bottom side, and he has a bad read, and Koi want to commit to this tower, but Jojopyun is just way later to the play. If he pushed that mid-wave, Koki shows him mid-wave, and he hovers into here, maybe there's a fight where Humanoid can connect. This is very, very bad from Jojopyun. He's very disconnected from what the Spanish Armada wants to do. Look at Razork and Mickey, how they overpush her. Like for me, it's once again the same. It's just a question of can Humanoid and Upset hit? And if they can, it can be a fine fight. But the moment the Maokai ult comes out, they need to Q out and W out with Rel. They need to kite back. Because Upset and Humanoid need to kite back. But here Razork Qs forward. Razork doesn't pay attention to the Maokai. Everybody else sees the Maokai. I think also what you can say in this moment is that if you were very cerebral, right? If you were really, really insane, then Oscarine would block this ult and they would play forward, right? That could be a way. But that's like crazy intense. I would say most of the time it is more true that they shouldn't be playing so far forward with Razork and Mickey. I think it's just like here it's a very awkward spot because Koki and Ezreal can't really hit so easily. It's very hard for them to hit. Like what happens to Humanoid here, he's just going like what kind of pocket can Humanoid even play in, you know? A Humanoid, he can maybe W now, but it's like I don't blame Humanoid for this death, but like I think the angle that Elioya finds though is really fucking good. Like Maokai, like there's Maokais and there's Maokais, and Elioya is definitely a Maokai. Like the ult angle he did on Nash was really good. This ult angle was also really, really insane. He played the Maokai super, super good, which might sound silly, but there is a difference. And this was the illustrious moment where Jojopyun wrote LOL chokers to the enemy team after the performance that he did. There's something about this season, instant karma, year of the youth. But I'm slowly becoming a believer in all of this stuff that Gilius always mentions. But to not end from this position is crazy talk in my opinion. But the funny thing is, I believe that Midwin's item gives him turret aggro. Let's take a look at what happens. Because Midwin has unending despair and it ticks, right? he gets aggro from fucking like he gets aggro from unending despair, so he dies. I don't know if K'Sante would be the difference maker in terms of the damage. Crazy. You know, the layer, what makes this so crazy is I think the Maokai ult timing is good because it is timed with the Vi spawn. And here, like, you are denying, you're looking to deny the. Honestly, you could ult a little bit early, I guess, because if Vi gets rooted, she doesn't get the home guard. It could make a difference here, honestly, because the Vi ult comes through. And I said before, this is just the worst time to get aced. Nashor is alive and Soul is alive. Here, I thought that this looked European enough for this to be a win, but I have to say, like, it just comes down to how much value Varus and Nautilus can get from this game. I thought in Europe, I didn't expect Varus and Nautilus to actually, like, get the leads necessary, but I have to say, they're playing Azir, Jinx against Xin Zhao and Gwen is very difficult, right? They have so much immunity with their circles, right? Xin Zhao and Gwen. There was a meta where these were picked together always. The main thing is that I think if this was played in LPL, I would always say, like, if this was LPL, LCK, I would always say red side draft wins. We have a 3v3 fight. They're stepping into river and they are trying to just go on the Leona with bone plating and W. This is of course not the way. They should just play on the wave. They're looking to contest for Crab, but Crab is already gone, and Alioya is obviously matched here. The enemy is channeling Recall to get the Jinx base on Cull. Just going on Leona is just never going to be a working concept, right? It's like you have a lethal tempo Jinx that is going to do a lot more damage than the Varus. This is not going to work. And now with the situation from before, you have a BS Sword against Longsword and Tier. It's really tough. You have a Ruby Crystal on Leona as well. You guys know what that means. Super still has Barrier. Sejuani has Giant's Belt. And the window of pressure is just completely gone. Now Koi should have an easy breezy game. This frame here, what Mirwin did, like, this is very, very similar to that, if you guys remember this scenario here. And you had Zeus just committing because he knew somebody had to go bot to fix it from the enemy team. Let me show you guys the moment. I believe it's this one. So here, bot is slow pushing out, and Ornus just said, okay, I'm opening top side. And then he just went top and went all the way, and he put pressure. Zeus was just here waiting for people to base and people to show up, and when Silas commit, they went all the way. Zeus just said, I can't go bot. It's completely pointless for me to go bot. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna look for a dive. Bin TP window is not ready to go. Zeus is participating in the play and they dive between towers. It's not exactly the same, right? But it is. It did remind me of it, you know. It's like Gwen is pushing out bot and Mirwin is here. He says, okay, let's just put everything down here as a counterweight. Varus has no flash. I have own ult. Let's cook him. Let's cook him. Because Gwen has no TP either, right? She can't participate. Can't TP because knock ult? No, you can TP during knock ult. You have a window. He just didn't have TP. I think also anybody could have just fucking like Sejuani has Q but misses it, right? This is a rough one, you know. I think if they stopped the Talia ult, they could save everybody. That's why I liked Koi's position and how they played, because I think them getting kills here is very, you know, unrealistic. This is also a Fnatic classic. They like to contest things without the perfect conditions. In my mind here, I look at own item, I look at Sejuani item. I know that it can feel bad in the game to want to contest something like this and not to give it. But I think that they are rushing Gwen into a fight. Mickey is also level 5 against Alvaro 6. I don't think it's super comfortable, this fight. But the main thing here I want to highlight is it's a very big difference between Varus players and Varus players. The same thing as I mentioned with Maokai. There's a difference between Maokai players and Maokai players. Here, Varus ults, gets a reset on Jojopyun on the E spell. Then he Qs Alvaro, gets another reset. And then he has Q again here after the E reset on ult. Like he gets so much damage out, man. So much damage out. In the end, here Super just gets kind of lost. I don't know why he's trading so hard onto the Varus. I wonder if they, like if Sejuani flashes here and they fight and gives Super space, maybe they can do something more. Because Gwen just use her ult. She has one more ult, right? Maybe they can play to if they stick together. But Super is chasing Varus off. And Super's position just gets thrown completely. This is also like FNATIC defended their bot tower, right? You should be so happy if you defended tier 2 here, right? That's the only mission. But somehow Razork feels the need to jump on his marked target here, which is Leoya. Because there's no more situation. Like you should be so happy with the situation Oscarine created top, because he got the 1-for-1 with the tier 1. And your tempo is fine because Gwen is going to open on the map. And the enemy team commit 5 into bot and they can't take tier 2. The enemy team still needs the base right now. And they are bleeding CS top. There's no rush. But Razor just jumps on the Leoya here. This is just crazy talk, bro. Razorko. This is crazy talk if you ask me, man. The biggest own ult of all time. I think Razor gets away with fucking murder here, man. And then here in the end, right, it's like look at Jojopyun's position, how it ends up being. As Jojopyun just goes here and Upset just gets the ult on again, like he just gets hook drive. Mickey lands a beautiful one. The Varus ult onto, of course, Alvaro that spreads. And Jojopyun survives somehow by some crazy miracle. But here comes Oscarinin attacking Supa, who has flash, and the flank is on him. This is a very, very poor setup from Koi. Because it looks like here the Talia wall is just designed to nuke Mirwin, which I think is a good play. But I think that Oscarine just goes too fast. Like here, if Oscarine just unleashes the Drake, he's done such a great job. I just think he feels the need to play because his teammates are playing, but he really doesn't need to. Right? Like this wall is to isolate Mirwin, and he flashed. And the Drake is not in any danger. Like Gwen is the one that chunked this Drake by 2k health. Let's take a look at this scenario. Because I think this is the one that I was thinking about in the previous fight. Where like Ornn wants to base TP back and he's not allowed to. This is the one I mean, what I was referring to earlier. Where the situation should be that if look at this, Mirwin obviously wants to base. You have no rush at all. Yeah, this one is just over, guys. Let's continue to game number 3. Draft is very, very snowball heavy, right? I think usually I would like more mages here, but I think Jojopyun just played comfort. I think that's what it is, you know. It's like Jojopyun just picked comfort, and it is what it is. This game obviously just comes down to if the Draven and Renata can snowball the game. This game, I think Jankos was right. FNATIC was first timing champs. They were first timing them on stage, but I can tell you that both of these players have a lot of experience on them. Like the crucial swap was so huge because Draven and Kalista get over the hard part of their game and they get the swap. I don't know if the plan was from FNATIC to predict the swap because this is just a flip. I think they want to be in the matchup, but Sion is just here to set up a play, which I think is alright. I think if FNATIC wanted to go, they should level 1, go bot, drop a ward, level 1. Renata starts to channel base. This dive, I think, is a little bit too optimistic. The timing for Mickey is a little bit rough, right? Because he takes the turret aggro and then Elioya is right here. Elioya EQs and he fucks up the EQ flash. If he hits that EQ flash, it would have been sick. But Mickey flashes early and then walks, so he gets away, of course. And Mickey having no flash is a very crucial detail. The Sion gets the majority of the wave, and Kalista Bromo just laning away. Humanoid uses W and E to trade, and then Humanoid just begins to look to auto-attack this boy, and Brom, after crashing top wave, because Kalista Brom based after Draven Renata and walked on top, and Draven Renata, after pushing out bot, based and walked top, Brom has the timer to gank mid. This is really, really bad. really, really bad that Humanoid dies to this gank. This is a very common timer. Dying as Aurora, burning Flash after TP timer is really, really unacceptable. Now the crucial detail is that Mickey doesn't have Flash. Mickey doesn't have Flash, and he is stepping up like this. Lee Sin is in River, false sense of security, Elio is level 5 to 4, and the EQ on Mickey lands. He gets killed, and then of course Upset, can't find lethal, Mickey dies, Razork is late, and the game is finished. Draft-wise, I think the biggest problem for Fnatic is that they are so piss useless level 1. They have a very, very hard time diving a Scion, and then finally like Humanoid dying on the mid-wave. So let's take a look at game number 4. Game number 4, game number 4. So game number 4, this was quite a good draft from Fnatic in my opinion. I think that the difficulty here in Koi's composition is that there's too many identities on the same team here. Like Sivir, Lulu want to be able to play together with the jungle to pressure through mid. Because Lulu never wants to leave the Sivir and they want to contest through mid. If you can't contest through mid with Sivir Lulu, you are going to have a hard time. And then Ryze and Camille want to do the exact opposite. And then the jungler here is in between. Doesn't have synergy with Lulu and has some anti-synergy with Ryze and so forth. I wasn't a super big fan of the defensive build that Upset went for, but in the end it kind of paid off. I was really, really impressed by Oscarini's gameplay in this one, because after the swap, he was in poor conditions against the Camille, and the main thing here is, you know, how does he get saved? He also got ganked once already. Here you have the Scanner hovering, the Ryze and the Mumu are trying to pressure him because their game condition in their mind is to pressure the Camille. Lulu Zeri have the Sivir Lulu struggle against Kama Zeri in the lane, from what I know, from what I saw, and they're trying to play into top side. Here I think if Humanoid flashes, I think they just kill him, but he wants to keep Flash, and he had like Q on CD here. Akira has Q on CD. 4, 3, 2, 1. He has Q on CD. I think also if Razork aims him a little bit down on the bottom part of the tower, maybe Humanoid doesn't need to flash and they can just kill. Here's Zeri's collapse. This is just the power of Razork, I think, and double Giant's Belt. Like, sorry, not Razork. Power of Skarner and double Giant's Belt. It's incredible how long Skarner lives here, bro. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink on him, and he doesn't die. Like, look how much time he buys. And the Syndra stun is also fucking delicious. Look at that Syndra stun on the triple. Bomba Clat. Big Syndra stun. We have our little showmaker here in Humanoid in the region. That's a triple. And then Upset shows up here finally with the ultimate. Gets 1, gets 2. It's just Giant's Belt in action and a beautiful Syndra stun. Here is an example of a very bad Atakan, I think. Obviously, blue side is very far ahead with all the fights. They have better item-wise. If they match any situation, they win. So why give anything away? They can pressure fully into bot side, make sure Oscarinian farms. Humanoid can push top side with a little ward that Lulu or Vi can press, can use, because Camille is not on the top wave. And then they can just match and just walk wherever the enemy is. Here the enemy is top side, cool, they spotted Lulu. Humanoid pushed out all the way. And then they can just cross into mid and make sure that they contest the Drake. But Fnatic just start hitting fucking Atakan and their own vision. And from MKOI's perspective, them getting a Drake in this game state and also a mid tier 1 and they get to push out bot completely, I am favoring Koi. Not sure why Jojo Pyun doesn't just push bot here with this ward that he has. He should just push bot in my opinion. He is crossing into bottom side here and then he just starts hitting wolves. Like he's just really trolling. I think he's like really, really fucking trolling. The enemy is grouping on mid and he doesn't push the mid wave, bot wave with the full info. So he's just oinking here, being way more useless than Jace and Syndra on grouped scenarios. If you're playing Ryze, you need to leverage your ult as an escape tool when you are stealing waves and you need to be pushing perma and you need to find tempo to push out bot, base and then walk behind the Camille as an example. But here, He didn't push the bot wave, doesn't contest the mid, doesn't change how they are going to play around mid.
Speaking of,
Jojo didn't only mechanically play like shit, macro-wise, he's completely lost on the map. Like completely lost on the map. Doesn't know how to play out the fights, doesn't know how to play the map. Very poor champion pool as well. Like, Jojo Pune, it's a testament to Elioya, in my opinion, and Midwin and the rest of the gang, that they even got this far with Jojo Pune. Like, Jojo Pune really was stinky this split. I think by far Jojo Pune was the biggest disappointment, because I thought here Mad Lions made an upgrade in the mid lane position, but at least Friskawi knew he was bad, right? Knowing you're bad is a hell of a thing. Knowing you're bad is a hell of a thing, because at least, you know, you're going to be playing Galio, you're going to be playing like some CC champ on mid, you're not going to overcomplicate it, you're going to practice simple things. It would be extremely psychotic, but if he cleanses this and flashes upwards with Hurricane and his items, he could maybe ace them. It would be bombastic, you know. I think no AD carry in the world would be able to do this, because in the end, it's like Humanoid can still play. Like, I think if they commit to this situation, I think there's a fight here. No, there's a fight. But look, Super just focuses on Skana so fucking hard. He gets heart-stealed, and he like Upset is just peppering him with the penetrating autos. And Super is just one tap.
Upset with an ulti firing the Elioya's ulti doesn't hit. They're not putting the play on bot. They found Upset.
But I think the moment Koi also loses the top 2v2, I think there's no play for this. What are the takeaways from today, bro? I think that we're not gonna see Draven. I don't think we're gonna see Draven from Upset. That's for sure. We're gonna see like a Kalista permaban. Who do I think is gonna win today? Honestly, I have a weird gut feeling that FNATIC will win.